Exist. High fly ball off of the Manorizo. He joins the home run party. 6 for the Yankees. Brady goes for the deep shot. He's got a touchdown. Scotty Miller. Oh my God.
Happy Halloween weekend, everyone. Welcome to Spooky Saturday Live with me, Legendary Alex Cardinale. Saturday Live with Legendary Alex Cardinale goes Halloween tonight. Halloween is this Monday, so we're going to celebrate Halloween early with this episode of Saturday Live with Legendary Alex Cardinale. Do I have a trick or treat for you tonight? Who is the mystery guest? Find out later on tonight when we do our special guest interview. There will be plenty of Halloween facts and Halloween scary stories. There will also be Halloween dessert ideas. And for the first time ever, Detective Alex Cardinale will be here live on Saturday Live with Legendary Alex Cardinale to talk about a Halloween murder that took place in 2001 in Tamarack, Florida. Plus, Chef Alex is going to show us how to make this delicious chocolate whoopie pie with orange cream cheese filling that is perfect for Halloween. Aqua Alex will talk about the Vulture Catfish. And I debut a new segment where I talk about Crumbl cookies weekly cookie menu. I love Crumbl cookie. All that and more live right here, right now on a spooky Saturday Live with Legendary Alex Cardinale. Have questions you want to ask me? Post them in the comments. You can share your thoughts on everything I discuss as well in the comments. So let's get this fun show started right now. Now, before we start talking about spooky, scary stuff, I have to acknowledge a special somebody. My friend Sandy gave me a very good gift this past Thursday. My friend Sandy gave me a tripod. Now, this tripod I could use to film cooking and baking videos in the future and all the videos for my YouTube channel. I would like to publicly acknowledge my friend Sandy for giving me this amazing tripod. So thank you very much, Sandy, for thinking of me and my show. It means the world to me. It means a lot. So thank you very much. And I'm glad you're a big fan of my show, and I'm glad we're friends. You are an amazing person. Now, let's start our Halloween chat. Halloween is coming up this Monday. Are you ready? Well, guess what? Spirit Halloween just released a costume for me. Yes, that's right. I have my own Halloween costume. It's the legendary Alex Cardinale Halloween costume. I am a real American. I don't take no shit for anyone. That's right. I don't take no shit from anyone. I tell it like it is. I keep it 100% real with everybody. Sometimes that's a good thing and sometimes that's a bad thing. I could be your best friend or your worst nightmare. I don't decide that. You decide that. I am an excellent cook, tropical fish keeper. I'm a good bowler, and I'm a YouTuber. So pick up the legendary Alex Cardinale costume at Spirit Halloween. Obviously, I'm joking, but I decided to get into Spirit Halloween meme trend, and this is my Halloween costume. If I could go back to being 10 years old, I would dress up as legendary Alex Cardinale. A fun way to start our Halloween chat here on Spooky Saturday Live with legendary Alex Cardinale. That brings me to my topic for Halloween this Monday and trick or treaters. I have a warning for all you Karens and Chads out there that complain about teenagers that go trick or treating. Teenagers like 14, 15, 16, 17, hell, even 18. There are Chads and Karens out there that complain about these young people trick or treating. Look, folks, they're not doing anything bad by going trick or treating. They could be doing drugs, prostitution, or committing crimes. Let them trick or treat, Karen and Chad. Don't worry about what the youth is doing. They're doing nothing bad. So, Karens and Chads, here is your official Halloween warning for this Monday. And it goes, the teen who comes to your door to trick or treat is choosing being a kid over doing other things. Give them the candy and smile. Life only gets harder. Let them enjoy it. You are only young once. And that is 100% true. So do not give these kids a hard time because it's Halloween and they need to have fun on Halloween. So let's get to our Halloween facts. Halloween fact number one: sugar rationing during World War II halted trick or treating. Because of the shortage of sweet stuff, trick or treating wasn't as big of a thing during World War II. After the rationing ended, it was all systems go on the candy collecting front. Candy companies began launching advertising campaigns to cash in on the ritual and make sure kids were clamoring for their products to show up in their candy buckets and spare pillowcases. Halloween fact number two: Monster Mash once reigned supreme on the Billboard charts. And that is an old song. Bobby Boris Pickett reached number one on the Hot 100 in 1962, just before Halloween, and hit the charts again in 1973, but this time in August. You might even say it was a graveyard smash. So listen to the Monster Mash if you haven't already. Halloween fact number 3. The Michael Myers mask in Halloween has a fascinating backstory. The famous horror movie villain comes from surprisingly innocent roots. When shooting the original 1978 film, production designer Tommy Lee Wallace picked up 2 masks from a Hollywood Boulevard magic shop, a clown mask, and William Shatner as Captain Kirk in Star Trek. Tommy came in with the clown mask on, and we went, oh, that's kind of scary. Then he put on the Shatner mask, and we stopped dead and said, it's perfect, actor Nick Castle told the New York Times. They spray painted it white, made the eye holes bigger, and the rest is spine tingling history. Halloween fact number 4. New York City throws the biggest Halloween parade in the United States of America. On an average year, the event draws more than 2 million spectators and includes thousands of participants joining in along the route. It all began as the brainchild of Greenwich Village resident and puppeteer Ralph Lee, who just wanted to throw a whimsical walk from house to house for kids and their pals. When a local theater got wind of it, they joined in and expanded the event. It's gotten bigger, more creative, and more theatrical just about every year since. And our last Halloween fact for this year: Halloween participation is returning to pre pandemic levels in 2022. The National Retail Federation's annual Halloween survey looks into America's plans for the holiday. After 2 very abnormal Halloweens, the results show people are returning to pre COVID Halloween plans. The survey found that 69% of consumers plan to celebrate Halloween, up from 65% in 2021 and 58% in 2022. It is comparable to the 68% who celebrated in 2019. It is great to see Halloween back in full force this year. And those are our Halloween facts to get the show started. Are you ready for some history? It's time for Today in History. Today is Saturday, October 29th, the 302nd day of 2022. There are 63 days left in the year. Today's highlight in history: on October 29th, 1929, Black Tuesday descended upon the New York Stock Exchange. Prices collapsed amid panic, selling, and thousands of investors were wiped out as America's Great Depression began. On this date, in 1960, a chartered plane carrying the California Polytechnic State University football team crashed on takeoff from Toledo, Ohio, killing 22 of the 48 people on board. In 1987, following the confirmation defeat of Robert H. Bork to serve on the U.S. Supreme Court, President Ronald Reagan announced his choice of Douglas Ginsburg, a nomination that fell apart over revelations of Ginsburg's previous marijuana use. Also on this day in 1987, jazz great Woody Herman died in Los Angeles at age 74. On this day in 1998, Senator John Glenn, at age 77, roared back into space aboard the shuttle Discovery, retracing the trail he blazed for America's astronauts 36 years earlier. In 2004, 4 days before Election Day in the United States, Osama bin Laden, in a videotaped statement, directly admitted for the first time that he ordered the September 11 attacks and told Americans the best way to avoid another Manhattan was to stop threatening Muslim security. In 2005, mourners slowly filed past the body of civil rights icon Rosa Parks in Montgomery, Alabama, just miles from the downtown street where she made history by refusing to give up her seat on a city bus to a white man. On this day in 2018, a new generation Boeing jet operated by the Indonesian budget airline Lion Air crashed in the Java Sea minutes after takeoff from Jakarta, killing all 189 people on board. It was the first of two deadly crashes involving the 737 MAX, causing the plane to be grounded around the world for nearly 2 years as Boeing worked on software changes to a flight control system. 10 years ago today, in 2012, Superstorm Sandy slammed ashore in New Jersey and slowly marched inland, devastating coastal communities and causing widespread power outages. The storm and its aftermath were blamed for at least 182 deaths in the United States. 5 years ago, all but 10 members of the Houston Texans took a knee during the national anthem, reacting to a remark from team owner Bob McNair to other NFL owners that we can't have the inmates running the prison. The head of Puerto Rico's power company said the agency was canceling a $300 million contract with a tiny Montana company to restore the island's power system. The company was based in the hometown of Interior Secretary Ryan Zinke. And just last year, 1 year ago, the FDA paved the way for children ages 5 to 11 to get Pfizer's COVID-19 vaccine. The FDA cleared kid-sized doses, just a third of the amount given to teens and adults for emergency use. 18 states filed three separate lawsuits to stop President Joe Biden's COVID-19 vaccine mandate for federal contractors, arguing that the requirement violated federal law. And that is today in history, October 29th, 2022. Today's birthdays: actor John Abrahams is 45, actor Brendan Fair is 45, actor Ben Foster is 42, rock musician Chris Baio is 38, actor Janet Montgomery is 37, and actor India Elsley is 29 years old. I, Legendary Alex Cardinale, would like to wish anyone celebrating a birthday today a happy birthday. Anyone who celebrated a birthday this past week, happy birthday. And anyone celebrating a birthday this upcoming week, happy birthday to all of you.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you.
Awesome. That was a great video. All right, let's get to our first topic of the evening. And since this is the final Saturday Live with Legendary Alex Cardinale of October, let's do a quick October 2022 recap. This was a pretty good month for yours truly, even though my sports teams did horrible this month. The New York Yankees made it to the American League Division Series, and they won the American League Division Series by beating the Cleveland Guardians. The Yankees would make it to the ALCS, but Sadly, the Yankees got eliminated. The Houston Assholes swept the Yankees in the American League Championship Series. Therefore, the Yankee season is now over, and I will no longer be able to talk about the Yankees probably until next year on Saturday Live with legendary Alex Cardinale. The Buccaneers have been playing horrible this month. It is one of the worst months in recent history for Tampa Bay Buccaneers football. We have lost a lot of games. In WWE this month, Bray Wyatt returned, and he has a cool gimmick. Ronda Rousey became SmackDown Women's Champion for the second time. It was my first full month working at Sprouts, and I really enjoyed it so far. I'm glad I decided to work at Sprouts. I love it. And Hurricane Ian struck us here in early October. So that's what happened in October of this year. It's time to get back to Halloween chat, and now I've got some Halloween scary stories that I, legendary Alex Cardinale, am going to share with you. The first Halloween scary story is called The Ghost in the Hall. Four young women moved into a New England apartment together. You know, the type with squeaky floorboards and a long, dark hallway. A month after they moved in, one of the roommates realized that her favorite stuffed teddy bear was missing. The others all said they hadn't touched it or seen it. Weeks went by, and she almost forgot about her teddy when something strange happened. She opened the door to one of the closets they hardly ever used, and there on the top shelf sat her furry friend. All of her roommates swore they had no idea how it happened. Now, whenever the teddy bear goes missing for a few days, she knows where to find it exactly. The next Halloween scary story, No One Steals. Jen went to the same convenience store every day after school for a snack. Over time, she became good friends with the cashier, Lucy. Out of curiosity, one day, Jen asked Lucy how she would stop someone if they tried to steal from the store. Lucy replied, "Oh no, no one ever steals anything from here twice. The store won't let them." Jean didn't know what that meant, but dropped the subject. When she went back to the store at the start of the next school week, Jen walked in to find Lucy talking to some cops. Apparently, a man stole from the store and drove off, but his brakes mysteriously failed and his car went soaring off a cliff. The cops asked Lucy if she knew what happened. No, she said. I was stalking the back room. I didn't even know he came in. No one ever steals twice. And the final Halloween story, Wedding in the Dark. An engaged couple planned to have their wedding reception at their absolutely favorite restaurant. But on the day of the wedding, the bride tragically fell down the stairs and died. Now it's said that every night after the restaurant closes, the ghost of the bride walks down the very stairs she fell from and sets up all of the tables and chairs for the wedding guests she never got to see. And those are the Halloween scary stories for the spooky Saturday Live with legendary Alex Cardinale. All right, now it's time to talk about my first crime here on Saturday Live with legendary Alex Cardinale. And for that, we're going to welcome Detective Alex Cardinale. Here is the Halloween crime that we're going to talk about here on Spooky Saturday Live with legendary Alex Cardinale. This crime took place on Halloween night in 2001. It took place in Tamarick, Florida, and the cause of death is bullying. Bullying led to the dead uncle of this family. The cause of death is being run over by a truck. The victim, 40-year-old Robert Campbell. He lived in the small town of Tamarack, Florida, with his sister Connie Rosser, brother-in-law Fred, and nephews Anthony, Mike, and Andrew Rosser. Anthony, Mike, and Andrew were neighborhood bullies who bullied Richard Day and his son Walter Day constantly and consistently. The perpetrator was Richard Day, but in this case, he really wasn't a perpetrator. The Rossers had a bad reputation, but Walter didn't see it until one day he noticed his new knife that he used for fishing was gone. Walter asked his friends if they took it, but they denied it. This caused a lot of tension once Richard found out about it. He had a short fuse, and the Rosser boys taunted him because of it. Another sign of trouble came a few weeks later when Walter brought his new Game Boy to school and noticed that it was missing from his backpack. He confronted the Rossers, who told him it was a joke. Walter told his parents, who got the guidance counselor involved. This caused tension. Walter continued to hang out with the Rossers, even though he had now been forbidden to go to their house. While he was at the house, Walter found two of his Game Boy games that had his name on them and took them back. The boys told their mom right away, and she called Richard. Richard asked Walter about this, and Walter said they were his. This caused Richard to storm over to the Rossers and cuss Connie out in front of the boys. Robert Campbell was the one who broke up the fight, as he was the peacemaker, and told Richard to leave. Even though things were escalating, this did not stop the Rossers from taunting the Day family. One night, the Days returned home from dinner to find their house had been broken into. The only thing missing was Walter's new mountain bike. He was devastated, and Richard Day called the police. The police arrived to investigate the break-in. They found a fingerprint on one of the doors that did not belong to the Day family. However, the police never followed up with the investigation. Richard took matters into his own hands and put up no trespassing signs in his yard. The Rossers continued to taunt Richard, knowing that he knew they had been the ones who stole Walter's bike. Richard also bought Walter a new bike, and Walter made new friends. The Rossers still continued to bother Walter and even pretended to steal his bike. Only this time, Walter stood up for himself and felt good about it. The day of the murder, Halloween night 2001. Walter said he was picked up from a friend's house by his parents. When they returned home, they found their house had been egged and covered in shaving cream. They knew it was the Rossers, and Walter said he wanted payback, and Richard agreed. The two of them drove over to the different houses and threw eggs at the homes. Mike, who was 16 at the time, heard the loud thuds and told his dad and uncle. They rushed outside and immediately tried to stop Richard from driving away. Richard sped away, but Robert somehow got caught in the truck and was dragged by the truck going at a very high speed. Ouch, that's got to be painful. Robert was released by the truck, but he had been dragged about 100 to 190 feet. He eventually died from his injuries. It was a fatal attack, and it was caused by his nephews and their constant bullying of the Richard Day family. Unfortunately, Richard was immediately arrested, and he spent the rest of his life in jail after being bullied by the Rosser family. At his trial, he was found guilty of second-degree murder and was sentenced to life in prison. Richard told the court that he never meant to kill Robert and that it was an accident. He said the Rossers had been tormenting his family for a while. Richard Day died in prison on April 2nd, 2009, from complications from diabetes. And that is the very first crime case here on Saturday Live with Legendary Alex Cardinale. Well, Halloween is about tricks or treats, right? It's time to find out who the mystery special guest is. Is it a trick or is it a treat? Who is the mystery guest for this week's episode of Saturday Live with Legendary Alex Cardinale? Well, the mystery guest is a treat for all my viewers. It's a treat especially for tropical fish keepers. Ladies and gentlemen, Kevin Cumberton, the owner of Tangled Up in Cichlids, is the special guest for this show. Kevin and I did an interview in the beginning of 2022. And for the first time here on Saturday Live with Legendary Alex Cardinale, I'm going to play a portion of the best interview so far in 2022. Enjoy this treat, fish keepers, because TangledUpInCichlids.com is an awesome online fish store. Start off by talking about how you got into the aquarium hobby, and then we'll get right into Tangled Up in Cichlids if that's cool with you.
That's fine.
So
How did I? Yeah, go ahead.
I'll start off with the question: how did you get into the aquarium hobby?
I was kind of born into it. As far back as I can remember, as a toddler, even my parents had aquariums, so I kind of grew up around having them. I vividly remember my parents having like red belly piranhas and pink kissing, all kinds of stuff. But the fish that got me hooked, they had a red devil. I don't know which one it was at the time because we're talking like 1982. So I don't know if it was the Labiatus or the Citronellum. I don't know, but it was a red devil. And I kind of got hooked on it from there. And I was maybe 6 or 7 then. And by the time I was 8, I had gotten my first aquarium for Christmas. And that was it. Took off from there. And I haven't been without ever since. So.
Oh, that's pretty cool. I was born in the aquarium hobby too because my dad was keeping fish before I was born.
Yeah, kind of, when you're born into, you kind of stick with it a little bit. It's very rare to have someone that's been around them forever, not at least have at least one tank in their home as they get older. At least
that's
from
very
what I know.
true.
Yep.
So what are some of your favorite fish species?
Well, the guy behind me, him, that's our shop pet. He's about 12 years old. He's a wild male citronellum from Lake Nicaragua. He's actually the grandfather to the juveniles that I offer on my stock list. So if you want to know what they look like, they'll look like that eventually. My home aquarium, oddly enough, my home aquarium has a couple hundred cardinal tetras, a bunch of different dwarf-sized plecos, some Cory cats. I forget which ones off the top of my head. And the only 2 rams, a male and a female wild ram from Colombia, and 2 wild ultimate angelfish. That's it. So it's mostly loaded up. Oh, and about 100 emperor tetras as well. So it's a peaceful tank. That's my tank. And then we have another tank that my wife has a pet fish in, and it's a hetero tilapia buttercopri. It's a pair. And those are her babies. Those are our pets. So, but that's it at home because here I have, everything I want. So.
Very nice. The Ultim Angels are a pretty cool fish. I've always wanted to get some Ultims, but I've been intimidated by them.
They're not that hard to keep. A lot of people are intimidated by them. The population that I bring in most often is actually from Clearwater River. So they're a little more tolerant of higher pH, a little bit more TDS in the water, so a little bit harder water they can handle. They don't need that pH of 6 and no hardness. They do all right. They do fine here, and they do fine in my house. They're going to be fine anywhere.
That's good to know. So when my 75-gallon becomes clear, I'll consider keeping autumn angels.
Yeah, those are cool fish.
I'm surprised you didn't say that you had a wild discus in your tank with cardinals and
No.
no,
No, I don't do discus. No, I've had them once or twice on the stock list. Jeff before me always had them, but I don't mess around with them. Where I am in northwestern Jersey, the water is very hard here. So for me to keep discus, it takes a lot of work to keep them. There's a couple different species of fish that I have a difficult time keeping here. Discus would be one of them. So I don't even bother with them. So, and everyone always wants like the hybrid weird colored ones, and I don't get them. So I only bring in the wild stuff. So that's I don't know if you'll ever see them on my list. Maybe in another couple of years, but not right now.
Yeah, discus can be a little bit finicky and a little bit sensitive. But I like the wild variants better.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, mostly everything here is wild type. Not everything is wild, but a lot of stuff, everything's wild type. Not too many hybrids in here. I have a hemochromous in here that is, I think, is a hybrid or it's a man-made line-bred species. The species turquoise that I have on the list. I think that's the only one though that's not a wild type fish.
So which do you prefer, the wild fish or the captive raised ones?
Either one. There's that whole F1, F2, F3. If it's further than that, it's the colors fade. I don't necessarily find that to be true. People are buying fish from fish stores, your local hobby, your local fish store that are getting stuff farm bred. And those farm bred fish are, 10, 11 generations old, and they're still just as colorful. I lean more towards the wild stuff because I know they're pure. I know they're the real thing. But there's nothing wrong with captive bred stuff.
I agree. I prefer the wild caught fish as well.
Yeah, definitely.
What are your thoughts about hybrids like flower horns and blood parrots?
I don't mind them. They're cool fish. I've never gotten into them. I get emailed daily. So I wake up to a couple hundred emails every single day. And there's at least a dozen emails every day about flower horns. And they use like the crazy names. I don't know any of the names of them. I don't know much about them, so I don't mess with them. There's some specialty stores that really specialize in them, so I kind of leave that to them. I have a local guy who has has an online presence as well, and but he has a retail store and he specializes in all that oddball stuff like that. So I let him deal with that. I'm not going to mess with them.
Yeah, I'd like to tell people that ask me about flower horns, I refer them to like Trimax and the Amphilophus species because they're more natural and you'll find them in our natural rivers. Right,
and they're one of the main sources of the flower horn. So I love when I get the question, what kind of flower horn do you think this is? And my answer always is, it's a flower horn. I don't know. It's a hybrid of who knows what. There's no way, they have specific, I guess, hobby names, depending on colors and patterns, I guess, how they grade them. But yeah, to ask what kind it is, I don't know. It's a hybrid of a whole bunch of stuff. I don't know. I don't think anybody's really going to know.
That's probably true. The problem with hybrids is they usually have shortened lives because their bodies are so compromised.
Yeah, the further along they're bred, they tend to have issues. And I don't know if it's true or not, but from what I understand on flower horns, and I know I'm going to get a ton of flower horn hate mail now, but but from what I understand is that, a couple generations in, they don't even look like the parents anymore. So they start looking like, all the mixed species of fish that are in there. So that's not cool either. If you're getting a wild fish and you breed it a couple generations and you're not mixing with anything, they're always going to look the same.
That's very cool. So what is your recommendation to beginners that enter the aquarium hobby? Because there's always a lot of people that are entering this hobby, and I think it's a great thing.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a huge growing. The hobby's still growing after it's been in. I don't even know how many years it's been going. 100 years at least, I would say, and it's still growing year to year. We were super busy last year, despite COVID, or maybe it was because of COVID, but we were super busy last year. But for people getting into the hobby, slow and steady. Everyone wants to jump right in, get the biggest fish they can get or the most fish they can get, and they have problems. It goes without saying, always do your research, look for different vendors online or check your local fish store, and learn as much as you can about the fish you want and the water type you may have at home, because that can make a difference on what you can actually keep successfully.
That's very good advice. I really agree with that. So I know you specialize in cichlids, and I know there's a lot of cichlid enthusiasts that are watching today's video. And when it comes to cichlids, there's a lot of aggression, and cichlids are one of the fish that it could be picky to have tank mates with. So what is your advice to people keeping cichlids in terms of having tank mates and stopping aggression?
That's a good question. There's so many variables. I'm like I got this guy behind me over here somewhere. I can't put anything in the tank with him. He's in a 180-gallon tank right here, and instantly, if I put something in there, it's fish food. Even if it's remotely close to his size, he just kills it. So that's a tough one. That's a tough one to address. Every fish has their own personality. You know, you could be in a room with a bunch of people, and there's always that one guy that's a jerk, causing trouble, and everyone can't wait to kick him out. You know. So, but majority, the rule of thumb is line of sight. Try to break up line of sight. So you want plants, driftwood, rock work. Places for fish to retreat, they start getting picked on. You don't necessarily have to pick fish that are, from the same region. I have customers that have fish in their tanks from every continent that has fish. So that works out fine too. Some people like to overcrowd them. I'm not a big fan of that. It leads to too many problems, and a tank can crash super fast by doing that. Obviously, there's guys that, I have a customer who has a 600-gallon tank, and I think he's got a sump that I think is 300 gallons, and plus all the other filters on it. So he could have a pretty big load of fish. But find fish that generally are known to be compatible. Like if you're getting an Oscar, don't get something like a corridor, a catfish that it's going to try and swallow and eat. Try to find stuff that's compatible with them. And the best way to do that is email me or any other vendor, really. I don't have to, it doesn't have to be me, and ask questions. Always ask questions on what they think will work. Almost anything will work. And there's some rules to it. Like you mentioned the trimac before. I wouldn't try putting a goldfish with a trimac or a betta fish for the trimac, But there's other stuff you could probably try to do,
Very well said. I definitely agree with you on that.
I have a tank in here that I can't really show you because it's in the main room, but it has black belt cichlids. It has a couple African cichlids. It's got some catfish, some plecos, and they all do fine. So, but it's a big tank. It's on continuous water cycle. So that seems to be working.
Believe it or not, in the past, I've had Jack Dempsey's in firemouth with Peruvian angelfish.
Caribbean angelfish.
Peruvian.
Oh, Peruvian. Oh, gotcha.
The Rio Nene ones.
Yeah. The spotted ones. Yep. Yeah. Firemouths and Jack Dempsey's, they're found in the same habitat, so they typically will get along. Once they start spawning, that could be a different issue, but for the most part, they get along. I keep them mixed here as well. Jack Dempsey's and firemouths, I keep mixed. They're always, pretty good to mix. Nicaraguan cichlids, I mix them with them. They do fine.
So do you prefer South American cichlids or Central?
I am actually, and I always was, which is how I got to know Jeff Rapps. I was a Central American guy. Jeff was a South American guy, and the predominant species I import and sell is South American. And they're growing on me. They're, I could ID almost all of them now at this point. And the Central Americans are always my favorite. And they're still a good selling fish. All the ones I have on my list, I am constantly rebringing in for inventory because they sell well. So
That's
I like them better. But I'm slowly getting into South America. A lot of the South Americans they're very calm. They're a little more chilled out. minus like a Feste or like, the Red Terrors and stuff like that. They're a little more aggressive, but for the most part, they're all pretty mild. And you can mix a lot of them together. So they're growing on me a lot. I'm supposed to say they're my favorite. I'm supposed to say they're my favorite because of what we sell here, but they're not.
I do like the Central Americans too, like the Viajas and the Jack Dempseys, but I'm more of a South American cichlid guy. I like the Hero Severums, the Waru, chocolate cichlids. They're nice and mellow, and you can have a lot of tank mates with them.
Yep. That's another one. You can mix all of them with even Oscars. You can mix in there. They will mix well together. Usually.
I think the only South Americans I haven't kept is the Feste and the True Parrot cichlid.
You got to get them. Those are good fish.
I know. The only time I see them around here is when they're dime size.
Yeah, they're tough to get. The Hoplarcus, the parrot cichlid, I had them back in 2020 regularly, and then 2021 I haven't been able to get any in. When they've offered them or been able to collect them, they've been small or they didn't have enough. For me to bring them in here, I need a bunch of them. They don't send me 10 fish from Colombia or Brazil.
Yeah, that sucks. You got to buy like 100 of them or so.
Yeah. Yep.
The Festes I've always been interested in, but I wasn't sure if they'll do okay with my chocolates and my Severums.
They might. In a big tank, it'll probably work, but in a 75-gallon tank, I would probably keep it by itself. It's a slow-growing fish too, so they can get outgrown by something like a chocolate cichlid or an Oscar. They can outgrow pretty quickly.
That's good. So we have a question from one of our viewers. Joel is saying a great show. He wants to know, what's the hardest part of owning a fish store?
Oh boy. So, well, one, we're not actually a fish store, so we're not a retail store. A lot of people think that we have like a brick and mortar building. It's just a private, it's a steel building. It's 2,000 square foot, and we're not open to the public. I'm in a private. It's a private facility. So dealing with customers in person, I don't have to deal with that problem. So that's a huge thing I don't have to deal with. But I guess the hardest part is keeping up with the emails and keeping up on the maintenance, because like I said a little while earlier, I wake up and I have 100 emails, and some of them are legit emails. They're placing an order. Some of them are just, tire kickers, and some are asking for flower horns. So I have to sort through all them and answer them and get back to them in a timely manner. And on a day like today, where in a couple hours, I'm expecting, almost 25 jumbo-sized boxes from South America to come in. They're going to land in a couple hours. I had a 1,500-gallon area of the shop that I had to have ready today. So I didn't get to answer any emails today because that's what I'm doing. So I'll get hate mail because, hey, I emailed you 3 hours ago. You didn't get back to me. So the hardest part is actually keeping up with the customers, trying to keep that relationship. I try to be very hands-on. When you email me. I'm the one that you're dealing with. I'm the one that's ordering the fish. I'm the one that's, receiving them from the airport. I'm the one that's clearing them with customs. I'm feeding them. I'm cleaning the tanks. I'm doing everything for you guys. So sometimes I can't always get to the email, and that's always the hardest part is dealing with the customer. And it's on my side is the hardest part because there's just not enough hours in the day.
But I have to say, you do a pretty great job. I enjoy always communicating with you, and I enjoy ordering from you. Sometimes I can't because I live on a fixed income, but when I do, I enjoy the service that you provide.
Well, thank you. I try. I try to handle it as I would want to be handled as a customer. Because, I've been in this hobby a long time as a hobbyist, ordering fish from all over the place. And I've had good and bad experiences. I still order fish from other vendors because I want to see what the fish looks like, if they're offering the right thing, how they pack things. I want to see. And sometimes they have stuff that I can't get or, I want for myself. So I've done that. So I could judge how I'm going to pack a package or answer an email based on how a lot of the other companies are doing it. No, I don't like I get a lot of people that want to do the shopping cart, click on the fish, add it to cart, and they have an order. The problem is that if I'm opening 100 emails a day, I'm selling fish all day long. So you can add it to cart, and it may not actually be in stock because someone may have added the cart right before you did, or have an order pending on it. So I like to be more hands-on. So if you eat like you, I know what fish you wanted today. They're sold. I sold them all. So
That's good though.
yeah, I added Bacordi and Pierside to the stock list on Friday, which is not normal. Usually my stock list goes up on Sunday, but with the holiday, and I'm going to be traveling this week, so I uploaded early, and I added those two species, and they sold out within minutes. So this morning when people logged in because they didn't bother checking it all weekend, I got like 50 emails for those two species, and they were long gone. So they get bummed out and they get upset with me, but you can only keep so many, and
That's true. I'm glad that
they're not
viewer,
always available.
go ahead. I'm glad that viewer brought up that comment because now we're going to talk about Tangled Up in Cichlids. So I know Jeff Ralph ran Tangled Up in Cichlids for quite a while, and he retired a couple of years ago. Why did you want to take over Tangled Up in Cichlids?
So I had known Jeff for, Tangled Up in Cichlids he founded in 1995. And I discovered Jeff maybe around 97, I think, somewhere around there, with the invention of the internet. The internet was kind of new then. So I found Jeff, placed a lot of orders with him, a couple other people that are well known in the hobby, and I that live locally in New York or Pennsylvania and New Jersey. Shipping was always expensive, even back then. It's way more expensive now, but shipping was expensive back then. So we would get in on group orders. And eventually he ordered enough from Jeff so much that he said, why don't you just come on out and pick up your order? So it turned out that Jeff didn't live very far from me. He only lived a few miles away. So as I would buy fish from him, I would breed a lot of fish over the years, and I would bring all the babies back to Jeff. So all the fry and the grow outs I'd bring to him. And we would just trade fish back and forth. So a couple of years ago, he gave me a little elbow when I was in his hatchery, saying he was going to be retiring soon, and if I knew of anybody that might be interested. So that was his nudge, saying, "Hey, buddy, you want in?" So 2019 he retired, and the offer came across, and I jumped on it. It took quite a while. It took almost a year to finalize the deal. It was a cash deal, so it took a long time, but we got it to happen. So, and Jeff's still on board. He works as a liaison. I talk to him almost daily, less now than I did when I first relaunched. But he's still on. I talked to him today on the phone for about an hour about stuff. So, I have any questions, I reach out to him. He had such an array of people to reach out to for not only for stock, but scientists, ichthyologists, biologists. So if I have questions about anything, I can shoot out an email because it's Tangled Up in Cichlids and get a response. I get Dr. Paul Loiselli comes here. The guy almost has a key to come in here. So
That's
who else has that? So, but it was because of taking over Tangled Up in Cichlids that I had access to all those people that no one else really has. So it was definitely a good move to make.
That's awesome. I'm glad to see it continue after he retired.
Yep, he's still very involved. He says he's retired, but that man is always fishing or collecting. He was in Colombia collecting fish that I have here in the shop now this summer. So he's still very involved. Just he has the fun part. He gets to help me pick out which fish I want to bring in. He gets to spend my money.
That's pretty cool. I purchased from him a couple of times. I think the most memorable one was when I got a datinoid from him.
Which datinoid? Do you remember?
NTT.
Oh, okay. I have one left of the the Crumbl now.
Well, that was fast.
Yep. Yeah. The fish move quick. So, people email me all the time and they want to buy a fish and we're going back and forth. They email me, hey, do you have this in stock? I reply back, yes, I do. And they go, how much? But I don't have an address. I don't know where I'm sending it to. I don't know how many I'm sending to them. So 5 or 6 emails later, they finally give me a name and address and the quantity they want, and then they're sold out. So the fish move, they go quick.
I'm glad you brought that up. So if anyone is going to use our 10% discount, make sure in your email you include your address and amount of fish that you want.
That's it. That's right. Yep.
Let's make Kevin's life easier for him.
Yeah. Well, it's not even easier for me. I hate telling a customer like, hey, you took too long to pull the trigger and it's gone now. I have customers globally. So if a guy in Asia wakes up now, they're awake now and he's placing an order and you're on the fence and you're thinking you're going to do it tomorrow morning, this guy already bought it. So you gotta jump on them when you see them, especially the rarer fish, or what people consider rare. I don't consider too many fish rare. It's all relative to a number of factors, but some fish have small spawns. So like some of the convict types, Nanolutea, everybody wants those, but they don't have giant spawns. So if I have 50 in a spawn, people buy them in groups of 5 or 6. So that's 10 orders. I fill 10 orders in a day. So if you want them, you got to jump on them.
That's very true. So what goes into selecting the actual fish that you sell?
Captive bred stuff is pretty easy. I get stock lists. I get dozens of stock lists from vendors, exporters, fish collectors, fish farms every day. And I can just, browse through them all and see, what has sold well. What if it didn't sell well, then I try not to bring it back in. What I haven't had in a long while. I'll browse other vendors. There's a couple. I have one very, very big vendor who's on the other side of the country, but I constantly have to look at like their stock list to see what they have. And if they have it, there might not be a point for me to bring it in. So that plays a factor in it. That's for captive bred stuff. For wild collected stuff, that's a little bit more of an ordeal. I have an import landing in a couple of hours that the collection started in October. And it was ready the week of right before Christmas, but then there were no flights available because COVID 3.0 shut down all the airports. So it's landing tomorrow or tonight, really. So, but as far as choosing which wild fish we go with, I throw darts, so it comes, you have to know what's in each watershed. So each collector collects, they have home base basically where they keep the fish, but they have a region where they have a zone where they're willing to go and collect fish out of. So knowing what fish are in each watershed or what might be in each watershed, I'll send them a list of, 30, 40, 50 species of fish. And
that was our special guest, Kevin from TangledUpInCichlids.com. You can catch the rest of the interview in full entirety by going to my playlist, Aquatic Wetline, and looking for the interview. He was my very first guest of 2022, and it was an honor to play part of his interview here on Spooky Saturday Live with Legendary Alex Cardinale. I've been dying to try this. Chef Alex made this. I'm going to give this a taste. It's now time for Chef Alex to enter the show and make this chocolate whoopie pie. It is very, very good. Hey everyone, Chef Alex here. Welcome to my kitchen. Happy Halloween weekend to everybody out there. Today, I'm going to show you how to make a perfect dessert for Halloween. Today, we're going to make chocolate whoopie pies with orange filling. This is a very simple yet very delicious recipe that I made last Halloween. And I found this recipe on Facebook and it is really delicious. I think you're going to enjoy this recipe and I hope you make it. Let me know if you do make this recipe and how it comes out. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to preheat our oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit so that it's preheated and ready to go. Then we're going to line some cookie sheets with parchment paper. This is going to make sure that our whoopie pies don't stick to the pan and burn. Now, what is a whoopie pie? You may not know what a whoopie pie is if you're not from New England. A whoopie pie is basically a sandwich cookie. It's a much larger version of an Oreo. A whoopie pie can be almost any flavor. It could be red velvet, it could be pumpkin, it could be chocolate, carrot, confetti, or vanilla. Basically, it's a cake that has more flour added to it to make it more sturdy and more stronger. So basically, it's a cookie sandwich, and you can make any kind of filling for it. Today, we're going to make a cream cheese fluff filling that we're going to dye orange just in time for Halloween. So, we're going to go over the ingredients and then we're going to get right into baking these delicious treats. Because I have to multitask today, I have to make these and also make dinner. And today for dinner, I am making spaghetti pie, which is something we'll make in the upcoming weeks before Thanksgiving because I'm going to be making spaghetti pie for Thanksgiving. So, real simple recipe. We've got our cookie sheets. We're going to need a cookie scoop. And this is a cookie scoop I was given in culinary school. It's a very good one. Now for the whoopie pies themselves, very simple ingredients. You're going to need a devil's food cake or a chocolate cake mix. You can also add instant chocolate pudding to the cake mix, but I don't have any. But we can leave it out. It's just going to give an optional more chocolate flavor, but you don't have to have it. We're also going to need a third of a cup of some sort of oil. Today I'm going to use vegetable oil, but you could use canola or peanut oil. And we're also going to need 2 large eggs. That's it for the cookie. Just the chocolate cake mix, a third of a cup of oil, and 2 large eggs. Now for the filling, we're going to need an 8-ounce package of cream cheese, about a tablespoon of marshmallow fluff, a half cup of sugar, some vanilla extract, and orange food coloring. That's all we need. So let's start baking these delicious desserts. All right, so we're ready to make our chocolate whoopie pies. I'm going to post a recipe in the comments of the YouTube video so you can see how to make it at home. But for now, you're going to watch me along as I make the dough in my KitchenAid stand mixer. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take our third cup of canola oil, and we're going to put that in our stand mixer, and you can use any kind of oil you have. We're going to add our 2 eggs. There's one, and then our second one. Be aware that it's going to make like a cookie batter consistency, and that's what we want for chocolate whoopie pies. So I'm going to plug in my mixer. My mixer is like, it doesn't stay on the off position, so I have to manually unplug it. So now we're going to plug this in and let this mix for a second. And then we're going to mix in our chocolate cake batter. We're going to mix the fat with the eggs. All right, that's good. So now we're going to take our chocolate cake mix here. Oops. So we're going to take our chocolate cake mix here, and we're just going to pour that in. I got to do it carefully because I don't want this thing to turn on and go everywhere. So we'll get it all in there. as best we can. Very, very simple, guys. And it should make about 12 whoopie pies if we do them right. Oh, some more. It's got to go in there. There we go. All right, that's in there. So now we're going to turn this back on and let it mix together until it's combined. And like I said, it might look dry, but it's going to be like a batter cookie consistency, and that's what we want in a whoopie pie. Just mix until it's all combined. Perfect, all set. Unplug this so I can get my spatula here. Where is it? Here it is, my baking spatula. So now we're going to simply just scrape all this off. That's what you want it to look like. Like I said, like brownie batter or cookie batter. So basically it's like a homemade Oreo, this better. Okay, so we get this all out, and then we're just going to simply scoop these on our baking sheet and bake them in the oven for about 10 to 12 minutes. But before we do that, we want to make sure we get all the batter off of our paddle attachment here, because that's very important. We don't want to waste any of that. Let's see, there we go. It's hard to get off, it's so dry. Oops. All right, that's good, I guess. And then I'm just going to go from the side and get it all off to make sure that we have we can scoop it. All right, perfect. So this is what our batter should end up looking like after we have done mixing it. Now we're going to go ahead and simply scoop it and bake it, and I'll show you how to do that. Now we're going to take our cookie scoop, and we're just going to scoop some whoopie pies. So we've got it like that. And now we just put it on our cookie tray here. Our parchment lined cookie tray. There's one. We want to try to make them all equally sized. 2. And you can even do other cake mixes. You can do red velvet, like I said, carrot, or vanilla. So there we go. So we're going to do this tray, and then we'll put these in the oven. These will probably bake for about 12 minutes. And then we take them out, let them cool, and then make our filling and fill these beautiful Halloween desserts. All right. So our first tray is ready. We've got 1, 2, 4. Tray is ready. We've got 1, 2, 4 sandwiches out of this one. So this is what they should look like once we have scooped them all. We'll put them in the oven, and I'll be right back. So here are our whoopie pies. It's time to put them in a 350-degree oven for about 12 minutes. So we'll let these guys bake for 12 minutes, and then we'll show you when I take them out of the oven. There they go into the oven, and these guys are going to bake for 12 minutes. Alexa, set timer for 12 minutes. 12 minutes. 7 minutes. These are the whoopie pies 8 minutes into baking. They look really delicious. So these just came out of the oven, so now we're going to let them cool completely. You want them cool before you fill them and before you make the frosting. So we're going to let these sit for about 10 minutes and then we'll make our filling. They look great.
Yeah.
Alright, it's time for the fun part. We're going to make our cream cheese filling for these chocolate whoopie pies. So I'm just going to make them in a mixing bowl, but you can use a stand mixer if you wish. We're going to put our cream cheese in a bowl, like that. And then, optional, you don't have to add fluff, but I like fluff because it gives it a little bit of flavor. We're going to take a spoon and we're just going to put a little bit of fluff in there. Like that, like so. It's going to give it a nice flavor. Usually New England whoopie pies, they do have fluff, which is why I'm going to add fluff to this. It'll give it a great flavor. So 2 spoons is enough of fluff. So remember, marshmallow fluff is very sweet by itself. So that's going to be good enough. We'll put that in the sink when I'm done. Okay. You just bring that to the sink. Yeah. I don't want to bring the table. All right, so now we're going to add powdered sugar, about half of a cup, or you can eyeball it. That's enough powdered sugar. Now, I don't have any vanilla, but you can add vanilla to this. Vanilla will give it a lot of vanilla flavor, but vanilla is just a flavoring extract. So now we're just going to mix this all together until it comes together and makes a nice filling. So very simple. Now, the reason this is coming together so simple is because the cream cheese is room temperature. You want your cream cheese to be at room temperature, otherwise it will not mix like this. Now, you could add some milk if you wish to make it a thinner consistency, and I might need to add a little bit of milk. We'll see. But so far, it's coming along good. We'll add a little bit more powdered sugar. I think a little bit more will be good. And that's how simple it is to make the filling. I don't like that canned frosting crap. That stuff tastes like crap to me. So we make it from scratch. All right, that should be enough sugar. I'll put that away in a minute. So we continue mixing until it comes together. And I don't think I'm going to need milk for this. I think I did a great job. It's got a nice consistency. As you can see, the consistency is very, very good. So that's what we want. We'll add a little bit more sugar to make it a little bit more smoother. Just a tad bit more sugar. All right, that's enough sugar now. That should be sweet enough. And we just mix that together really well. I just want to get the lumps out of there, and you'll be good to go. Just smush it or do whatever you need to do. So there you can see the frosting is coming together very nicely. Put it down just a little bit. Not the best camera work, I apologize. But so there's the frosting there. All right, it's coming along nicely. Just gotta get the rest of that sugar in there. And then we can add in our food coloring to make it Halloween. Now, if you're watching this and it's a different time of year, you can add other colors for other holidays like Easter, Christmas, 4th of July, whatever. All right, that looks good now. So to make orange, we use yellow and red. So I have yellow food coloring here that I'm just going to add. Here's a little bit of yellow food coloring that we're going to add. And then a little bit of red food coloring. And it's going to make a nice Halloween red, orange. All right, so there we go. And now we're just going to mix it together until we get a nice Halloween colored filling. And as you can see, it's coming along great. We need a little bit more in there to make a nice filling. There we go. So we just mix that in. And we have our Halloween filling ready. Just get it well mixed all together so you don't see any white anymore. I'm getting old, my hands are hurting already. So, there you have it. Alright, so I'm going to finish mixing this and then I'll show you filling the sandwiches and we'll do our finished product. So here is the orange cream cheese filling. Now we're ready to scoop this into our whoopie pies. Alright, now it's the fun part. We're ready to fill these bad boys with our filling that we just made. So to do that, we are simply just going to take one of these, flip it over, and then another one, and we're just going to take our spoon that I have over here, and we're going to take a dollop of our orange filling, not too much, like that's pretty good, and we're just going to do this, and we're going to put it on top of our sandwich cookie, like that, like so. And then we're going to take our other cookie and we're going to sandwich it together to make a beautiful Halloween whoopie pie just like that. And we're going to do another one until we do them all. There's 10 sandwiches that we need to fill. So this one, we take our filling and do that. Sorry, I'm not the best video baker or whatever, but we'll work on camera skills. And we do that again, and look at that, that looks pretty good. So there's 2 of them. We'll do one more on camera, and I'll try to do this one where you guys can see. Alright, so we've got our filling. We just put it like that with a spoon. You could also use a pastry bag if you want to get fancy, but we don't need to get fancy. So there you go. And there is your Halloween whoopie pie with orange filling. Now I'll show you the finished product. And here are the finished products. These are the chocolate Halloween whoopie pies with orange cream cheese filling. I just tried one and they are absolutely delicious. So be sure to give this recipe a try. I'm sure you're going to love it this Halloween season. They look absolutely phenomenal. Next week, I'll show you how to make pumpkin whoopie pies from scratch. Thank you, Chef Alex, for showing us those delicious chocolate whoopie pies. They sure are delicious. So thank you, Chef Alex, for showing us how to make those delicious whoopie pies. So for Halloween desserts, you can definitely make those whoopie pies, but you can also make cupcakes, cookies, and brownies. Halloween cupcakes can be made from a box mix, which are really good. You can make sugar cookies and decorate them with orange filling. You can make brownies with the orange filling that I made as well. And you can also purchase donuts. Those are a great Halloween dessert as well. All right, moving along. It's time to talk about my favorite football team. Well, my Buccaneers played this past Thursday, so I don't get to watch the Buccaneers tomorrow. And unfortunately for the Buccaneers, they lost yet another football game. This is getting awful. The Buccaneers are having a terrible start to the season. Here we are at week 8, and we are now 3-4. 3-4 is a terrible record. It is just god awful. Or is it 3-5? I think it's 3-5 now after Thursday's game. That is an awful record. The Buccaneers need to get it together if they even want to make the playoffs or even sniff the playoffs. The Buccaneers' last victory came on Sunday, October 9th, when they beat the Falcons 21-15. And then, of course, as we know, on October 23rd, they got destroyed by the Panthers 21-3. And then on Thursday, they lost to the Ravens on Thursday Night Football. The Ravens beat the Buccaneers 27-22. Now, I'll give credit to the Buccaneers. It was a hard-fought game, but a loss is still a loss. We need to get it together so that we can start making our team look good so that we can make it to the playoffs. But right now, it doesn't look like the Bucs are going to be making it anywhere except home. So Tom Brady and the Bucs need to get it together. We've got some good games coming up. We're going to be playing in another country against the Seahawks in Germany, and I look forward to that. But the Buccaneers need to get it together. They need to rest up tomorrow, and then next week they need to focus on their game so that we can get a win and go to 4-5. I'm just really disappointed in my Bucs right now. Really, really sad. But hopefully the Bucs will get it together. All right, it's time to introduce a new segment here on Saturday Live with Legendary Alex Cardinale. If there's one thing I love, it's a good cookie. And I was introduced to this cookie company by a former friend of mine, and it really is good. It's time to Crumbl. We're going to review Crumbl Cookies cookie menu from this past week.
Whoa! Dude! It's the guy who says that thing.
Let's get ready to crumble!
I like your face paint.
Foul!
Oh, come on!
Let's get ready to crumble!
There you are again.
No desserts.
Wait. Hey!
Let's get ready.
Thank you.
Okay.
God, I love Crumbl cookies, and I love that segment intro. So here was the Crumbl cookie menu for this past week, October 24th through today. I believe Crumbl Cookies is closed on Sundays. I think they just have online orders, so and delivery through DoorDash, so you can still order from Crumbl Cookie for delivery. Today, this week, they had the classic M&M cookie, which is a childhood favorite of mine. I really enjoyed that. They had the peanut butter featuring Butterfinger. They had strawberry limeade featuring Nerds. They had Rice Krispie cookies, chocolate chip cookies, and mystery cookies. And in my area, the mystery cookie was white chocolate chip and snickerdoodles. And I ordered from Crumbl 2 times this week. And my favorite cookie from this week's lineup was the M&M cookie, my childhood favorite, and the peanut butter featuring Butterfinger. I can't wait until Crumbl releases the Twix cookie, because Twix is my favorite candy, and I definitely want to try their Twix cookie. And here on Saturday Live with Legendary Alex Cardinale, in December, all the December baking videos are going to be cookies, since cookies are made for Christmas. And I might do some Crumbl cookie imitations here in December. That's an image of the cookies that I purchased. You can see the M&M cookies, the peanut butter featuring Butterfinger cookies, and the strawberry limeade featuring Nerds cookies. I loved all 3. My favorite out of them would probably be the M&Ms, but the Butterfinger was good and the Nerds was good. The Nerds was just a little bit sweet for me, but hey, it was a delicious cookie. And I can't wait to reveal next week's menu here on the first Saturday Live with Legendary Alex Cardinale of November. What a great show for the first ever Spooky Saturday Live, even though we got off with a late start because of technical issues. But it's been a great show so far. In 5 weeks, Saturday Live with Legendary Alex Cardinale celebrates its first milestone. In 5 weeks, on Saturday, December 3rd, 2022, I, Legendary Alex Cardinale, will host the 25th episode of Saturday Live with Legendary Alex Cardinale. It is going to be a blast. For the first time ever on Saturday Live with Legendary Alex Cardinale, there will be not one, not two, not three, but multiple special guests on Saturday Live with Legendary Alex Cardinale. Chef Alex will cook a delicious dinner and bake a delicious dessert. There will be special fishy surprises from Aqua Alex Cardinale, plus all the stuff you love from Saturday Live with Legendary Alex Cardinale, including funny videos, Tampa Bay Buccaneers chat, and more. Tune into the first milestone for Saturday Live with Legendary Alex Cardinale in 5 weeks. It's the 25th episode of Saturday Live with Legendary Alex Cardinale. Saturday, December 3rd, 2022, 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. In 5 weeks, the beginning of December, this show will celebrate and host its 25th episode. Can you imagine that this show started as an accident because a guest canceled for an interview and I still wanted to go live all the way back in April of this year? And to think about celebrating 25 episodes later, really excited, and I can't wait for the 25th episode. All right, let's get this show rolling along because it's running late and I have to go to work tomorrow. It's time for our funny videos. I have 7 funny videos for you, and I think all of them are going to make you laugh.
You look adorable right now. Could I give you a kiss?
What?
You look adorable.
Bruh, I don't play like that.
Can I give you a besosito?
No, bro, no.
Come on.
Wait, what's going on?
No, I'm just kissing my girlfriend, bro.
Oh, okay.
That's crazy. Here is a Halloween one for you.
Guys, Kiki's pissing me off, guys. I'm PO'd right now. Kiki, stop dancing and let's hurry up. I'm trying to look for ghosts.
The ghosts are over here.
They're over here.
No, I looked it up. They're over here.
Oh my jeez. Guys, we went over there right now at the railroad tracks. There's no ghosts over there. I'm telling Kiki's dumbass, they're over here. Hurry up, Kiki. Don't be mad. Why you mad for, dumbass? Really, Kiki? Oh my Jesus.
I told you that was a funny video.
All right, 5 stars now. Yeah, for sure. 5 stars, worst ride ever. More like 1 star.
You said what now? You said 1?
No.
Why don't you open up the app real quick?
Yeah.
Open that up.
I'm gonna Face ID myself.
Give me
and
that
then,
shit.
Okay.
5 stars.
Good.
And this your Zelle?
Yeah.
$100.
Good.
Next time you do that shit, I'm gonna beat your ass.
That makes sense. Mm-hmm.
Make sure you give your Uber drivers a 5 star.
Kiki, stop grabbing my arm!
Accident.
Look, Kiki, there's a camera. They're watching us. Hi, Daddy. Oh, who are y'all? Y'all are us.
Stop you. No.
Come on, you know you like this. Come on.
Look,
Get away, Tomas! Oh my Jesus!
What is it?
Scary in here, Tomas!
What is it?
Look, there's bones.
It's
Dinosaur bones. You go first, Kiki.
I want to go. Why me?
Because it's scary. Look, there's a clown. Oh my Jesus. Oh,
God, what the fuck?
hit him, Kiki. Oh, why'd you hit him, girl?
This happened to the reflex.
Girl, are you okay?
You okay?
Oh my Jesus. Kiki. Get him up. Hey, sir. Come on, let's get out of here. Let's get out of here, girl. You knocked his off out.
Sorry.
I promise you guys are going to love this one and laugh at it.
It's mine. It's mine.
Big ass out of off and let you go.
You skinny motherfucker, you! That's my motherfucking handle! Piss! Where my asthma pump? Where my pump at? Hold that car!
Oh, Lord, I think she was going to have a heart attack. That's funny. All right, so the next video is Halloween and DX related. You know, DX just celebrated their 25th anniversary, which is pretty cool.
You're seriously gonna leave again with your friends? Your friends come around and all you wanna do is go out. I'm your girlfriend, not them. If you walk out that door, it's over between us. Over!
Are you ready? You think you can tell us what to do? You think you can tell us what to wear? Break it down!
That's a good one. This one I laugh at all the time because it reminds me of my dad and my whore aunt. Check it out.
Trick or treat!
You want some candy?
That's not even a scary costume. Oh my god!
You forgot the candy!
That's funny. All right, it's time to talk about another Halloween creature known as the Vulture.
It's time to chat tropical fish. Let's welcome Aqua Alex Cardinale to Saturday Live with Legendary Alex Cardinale. Aqua Alex will be discussing a species of tropical fish each and every week. It will either be a freshwater or saltwater tropical fish species that is in the aquarium hobby and can be kept by aquarium hobbyists. Aqua Alex has kept many different species both fresh and salt. He has knowledge mostly on cichlids, catfish, monster fish, and many others. What fish is up for discussion today? Ladies and gentlemen, dive into the fish tank. Get ready to welcome the one and the only, Aqua Alex. Here is the one and the only South American and monster fish keeper Aqua Alex.
Howdy everyone, Aqua Alex here. Honored to be here on Spooky Saturday Live with Legendary Alex Cardinale. The fish I'm going to talk about today is perfect for Halloween. It is a vulture. It eats just like a vulture. It will eat dead and live fish and anything that will fit in its mouth. Today, I have the honor and pleasure of talking to you about the vulture catfish. The vulture catfish comes from South America and the Amazon River. Before I give you some facts and information on the vulture cat, let's check out my personal vulture cat in my 125-gallon aquarium. Here is my personal vulture cat. So as you can see, my Vulture cat is pretty large. He eats very well. He loves market shrimp, tilapia, and everything that I throw in the aquarium. Vulture catfish come from South America and the Amazon River. You'll find them in Peru, Brazil, Colombia, and Venezuela. Now, the locals in South America love this fish as a food fish, but it's also very popular in the aquarium hobby, and it is collected for the aquarium hobby quite frequently. Very cool fish to have in the aquarium hobby. Now, in the wild, local fishermen will feed the vulture cat scraps of fish, scraps of caiman, and scraps of the Boto freshwater dolphin. That's why it has the name of vulture catfish. It will eat any scraps that the fishermen throw into the water. Very, very cool catfish. Now, in the home aquarium, you can expect the vulture cat to grow about 16 to 18 inches. It is a medium to large growing catfish species. What I love about the vulture catfish is that it has the personality of a red-tailed catfish and a tiger shovelnose. It just does not have the size or the girth. So you can keep a vulture catfish in a 180, 220, etc. It is an active catfish, so you're going to want at least a 6-foot aquarium. As far as feeding goes, this catfish is really simple to feed. It will eat anything that fits in its mouth. So the black skirt tetra swimming behind me would be lunch if I had a vulture cat in here. So don't keep them with smaller fish. You can feed the vulture cat tilapia, market shrimp, quality pellets, quality frozen foods, earthworms, live ghost shrimp. It will eat pretty much anything. It is not a picky catfish. It's also a very hardy catfish to keep in the aquarium, and it's very easy to keep, which us fish keepers really appreciate. You can keep them in schools. Just make sure you have a large aquarium. Tank mates for the vulture cat can include other vulture cat, other Pimelota catfish like the 4-line pictus. That's what I have with my vulture cat. Oscars, chocolate cichlids, severums, other South American cichlids, silver dollars, flagtail procholotus, leperinus, other large South American cherisons are great tank mates. Arowanas, datnoids, stingrays, plecos, anything that grows to a similar size to the vulture cat is a great tank mate. For more information on the vulture cat, check out the aquatic wetline playlist right here on my YouTube channel, The Legendary Alex Cardinale, because I did a care guide on vulture cat and I have a ton of information there. I hope you enjoyed learning about the vulture cat. I hope you enjoy the rest of the spooky Saturday Live with Legendary Alex Cardinale. And I hope you have an awesome Halloween. Aqua Alex saying thank you, Legendary Alex Cardinale, for allowing me to be on the show this week. Happy Halloween, fish keepers. Bang, bang! Thank you, Aqua Alex, for educating us on the vulture catfish. What a great show. What a great first ever spooky Saturday Live with Legendary Alex Cardinale. I cannot wait until next year's spooky Saturday Live. So now that Halloween is over, we're getting ready for Thanksgiving. It may be over for Saturday Live with Legendary Alex Cardinale, but don't forget, this Monday, I get to paint my face as a tiger, and host the second annual Halloween Bash. Next Saturday, I've got an action-packed show coming your way to kick off November, and Thankful Saturday Live with Legendary Alex Cardinale, because every Saturday Live in November is going to be Thanksgiving related. What can you look forward to next week?
The first Saturday of November will be super. Don't miss the Super Saturday Live with Legendary Alex Cardinale next Saturday, November 5th, 2022 at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific. Appearances by WWE fan Alex Cardinale, Chef Alex, and Aqua Alex. Plus November is Thanksgiving. It's time for some Thanksgiving facts and topics. WWE fan Alex Cardinale will review and recap the action from WWE Crown Jewel, who walked out of Saudi Arabia as the undisputed WWE champion. Our special guest next week is our friend and fellow podcaster Catherine Jones. Catherine is going to help Alex set up a business. How will it go down on an interview? Tune in to find out. Chef Alex will show you how easy it is to make homemade pumpkin whoopie pies, a perfect dessert for Thanksgiving. Aqua Alex's fish of the weekend will be the gorgeous pearl gourami. Find out how to keep and care for this amazing fish. All that and more, including funny videos, Thanksgiving chat, and more. Live next Saturday, November 5th, 2022, 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific on YouTube channel The Legendary Alex Cardinale. Gobble gobble, see you there.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. We are just 3 weeks away from Thanksgiving, and the Thankful Saturday Live begins next week. Next week, our guest is Catherine Jones, where she's going to talk to me about creating my own business. I can't wait for that. Chef Alex will make pumpkin whoopie pies. I'll talk about the pearl gourami and more. Well, what a great night. I want to thank each and every one of you for being a part of the spooky Saturday Live with Legendary Alex Cardinale. Have a great rest of your Halloween weekend. Have a great Halloween. And don't miss the Halloween Bash hosted by Crazy Tiger Alex Cardinale this Monday. Thank you all for watching this video. It was an honor and a pleasure to make the chocolate whoopie pies for you. It was an honor to talk about the Vulture cats, and it was an honor to host this show. May you all have a great Halloween and a great rest of your weekend. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel if you're a new viewer. Thank you for watching. Have a great rest of your weekend. Happy Halloween, and bang bang. Have a great night, everybody. It's Crazy Tiger Alex Cardinale, and I am hosting the Halloween 2022 Bash. I'm inviting all of you, all you scary ghosts, goblins, and monsters, to be a part of the Halloween 2022 Bash hosted by me, Crazy Tiger Alex Cardinale. On the Halloween Bash this year, there will be appearances from Chef Alex and Aqua Alex Cardinale. What cooking recipes will Chef Alex give out? What monster fish will Aqua Alex talk about on the Halloween Bash? There will also be Halloween discussion and scary stories with Crazy Tiger Alex Cardinale. Crazy Tiger Alex Cardinale will also discuss his favorite cat, tigers, and tiger attacks on humans. So it's going to be a fun Halloween bash this year, filled with Halloween stories and a lot of Halloween fun. The Halloween 2022 Bash airs live Halloween night, Monday, October 31st, 2022, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific, only on my YouTube channel, The Legendary Alex Cardinale. Happy Halloween, everybody, and I will see you Halloween night, Crazy Tiger Alex Cardinale. It's going to be great.
The first Saturday of November will be super. Don't miss the Super Saturday Live with Legendary Alex Cardinale next Saturday, November 5th, 2022 at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific. Appearances by WWE fan Alex Cardinale, Chef Alex, and Aqua Alex. Plus November is Thanksgiving. It's time for some Thanksgiving facts and topics. WWE fan Alex Cardinale will review and recap the action from WWE Crown Jewel, who walked out of Saudi Arabia as the undisputed WWE champion. Our special guest next week is our friend and fellow podcaster Catherine Jones. Catherine is going to help Alex set up a business. How will it go down on an interview? Tune in to find out. Chef Alex will show you how easy it is to make homemade pumpkin whoopie pies, a perfect dessert for Thanksgiving. Aqua Alex's fish of the weekend will be the gorgeous pearl gourami. Find out how to keep and care for this amazing fish. All that and more, including funny videos, Thanksgiving chat, and more. Live next Saturday, November 5th, 2022, 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific on YouTube channel The Legendary Alex Cardinale. Gobble gobble, see you there.
In 5 weeks, Saturday Live with Legendary Alex Cardinale celebrates its first milestone. In 5 weeks, on Saturday, December 3rd, 2022, I, Legendary Alex Cardinale, will host the 25th episode of Saturday Live with Legendary Alex Cardinale. It is going to be a blast. For the first time ever on Saturday Live with Legendary Alex Cardinale, there will be not one, not two, not three, but multiple special guests on Saturday Live with Legendary Alex Cardinale. Chef Alex will cook a delicious dinner and bake a delicious dessert. There will be special fishy surprises from Aqua Alex Cardinale, plus all the stuff you love from Saturday Live with Legendary Alex Cardinale, including funny videos, Tampa Bay Buccaneers chat, and more. Tune into the first milestone for Saturday Live with Legendary Alex Cardinale in 5 weeks. It's the 25th episode of Saturday Live with Legendary Alex Cardinale. Saturday, December 3rd, 2022, 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific.